backbone strong, ding dong long. I used to like to say that. When we're talking about backbone here, though, we're not talking about the actual vertebrae in your spinal column. I like to use Gandhi as an example because what, he's 110 pounds or something, a little guy. Not only did he not fight, he preached and practiced nonviolence in perhaps a bit of an excessive way. But would you say he had backbone? I'd say so. He was a badass because backbone, true backbone, we're talking about it in this way, is you're stable inside. You have certain values and virtues. You're not going to compromise. You can't be bought. Can't the enemy can't send a girl over and seduce you and get you to compromise on your integrity. Nor can they send a suitcase full of money to sway you, because beings that really have backbone, you can say they have, or code of honor, consciously or unconsciously, they have a relationship with the universe or God, even if they don't call it that. It's there because it's like their dedication to universal principles. It's unbreakable. They don't break. They can't break. Even if they get threatened with jail or prison, they just, okay, well, I guess I'm supposed to go there. There must be a reason. They won't break. This is real backbone. How does semen retention relate to this? What, if you don't do PMO, then all of a sudden you're going to turn into some Superman? It's not like that. When you don't waste your energy, and when you're living, when you have a healthy lifestyle, your frequency is going to raise. You're going to get access and downloads to true wisdom. And then you're just going to come to realize there's certain principles and laws, universal laws, that you don't mess with. you follow them. These laws are higher than human laws. I'm not talking about the laws the government makes. Those laws, sometimes they need to be followed, sometimes not. The universal laws will let you know if these human laws are synergized with those or not. So this is, you can say, a man of true character, one who follows, one who has those principles. But you can't follow these principles like with your mind. You can't say, yes, I'm going to follow this principle no matter what. You'll break, man. Look at Jesus's disciples. They all said too, oh, we'll never turn you in. Never, never. Jesus said, yeah, you were. Yeah, you will. Because he can see their vibration. He can recognize. He knows. Once you really have true principle, and you know if somebody else has true principle. You're not some magician. You just, because we're all the same. You recognize energy, you recognize vibration, and you can see that coming through somebody else. So there's millions of things we can talk about and say that are good to do. And oh, do this is good for you. Do Tai Chi, do yoga, do breath work, do fasting, do, millions. There's new things coming out every day. So before I started making my channels, I was thinking like, I was gonna make 6 channels. Man, that's impossible, but I was seriously considering it. I made 4, but I was gonna make semen retention, and then spiritual channel, make a channel for the girls, and then make the Transcending Shadows channel, where I talk about diet and lifestyle habits, which I did make. And I made the spiritual channel, Spiritual Renaissance, but I also was gonna make a separate channel only on diet and a separate channel only on plant medicine. But then I realized, I said, wait a minute, what's real important here? What are some universal principles that really everybody needs? That's hard to find, you see. To find something that is pretty much like as important, intruders, important as like the oxygen we breathe. Something that's not like subjective or not like I made a couple videos previous, and so my throat, and it's hot out. That's my justification why I'm having a little trouble talking. I'm thinking like, what's a universal healthy principle that like everybody would benefit from and needs? And then I was like, no, diet is too subjective. There's plenty of people who are doing all kinds of different diets, and they've come to a high level of self-realization in themselves, which is the point. That's the end goal. Realizing our true nature. This is the end goal. So I'm like, no, I don't want to do diet. I'm like, plant medicine's cool. It's a good tool for some and not for everybody. But then I'm like, semen retention, preserving your sexual energy. This is hands down. This benefits everybody. There's nobody who's going to recognize their true nature if they're doing PMO. Man, woman, doesn't matter. It's too destructive. It's too debaucherous. You're losing your main form of life force. So I'm like, yeah, I need to do that. And then I wanted to make the spiritual channel because, again, that's the whole point. The goal isn't just retain your semen. That's not like the end of the rainbow. No, recognizing our true nature is the end of the rainbow, but it's an end that we'll never totally get to. But you get to where you're good. That's the point. Semen retention is a great tool to help one get in touch with their spiritual nature because you have power now. You need power for transformation. You need power to be able to handle the downloads of wisdom that are going to come to you. Wisdom isn't going to be born in a dull mind. Somebody who's like jerking off and watching porn, what do you think? You're going to get downloads of wisdom? It's impossible. So this is why semen retention is so important. And that's why I'm talking about it. So then, as our frequency raises, automatically these qualities that all the spiritual greats or any true master of any field, they have. What they have is true, like I say, virtue. They have true code of honor. They have true principles that they don't break. That didn't come because they read a book that said you need to have these principles. The mind is not strong enough to embody these principles. Not when things get rough. You can embody those principles if you're like walking through the woods. Nothing, let a bear come out. Okay, let's see then. Or let's, whatever. You can't create the kind of backbone I'm talking about. But semen retention, healthy lifestyle habits, a dedication to recognize your true nature, aka spiritual practice, that will reveal this backbone I'm talking about. It's not even the backbone gets created. You already have it, but it's being hid by ego and, delusion. So when we clean our life up, then our true nature starts to get revealed. And then you have this, you're stable. And then even if people like revere you for that, they're like, wow, like let's say you were in a situation where you demonstrated true principle in the midst of like strong opposing forces. Most would crash and cave in, but you didn't. And then afterwards, people came up, they may talk about you or in front of you and, whoa, hey, hey man, you, damn. You can't take credit for that. Not somebody, that's another way that you know you really have it, is you can't take credit for it because you know you didn't do it. Ego might try to, for a second, want to take credit, but you're like, shut up, man, you got no backbone. It was divine that did that for you. So this is the path that semen retention, their true purpose. I got to quit talking. This is the true purpose of semen retention. These are the real gifts beyond being rich. And, ooh, I'm getting a girl to look at me now. It's cool though. Like I did all that. So I'm not a hypocrite. I can't look down on somebody I'm just sharing about the other stages, because I have to now, because I made plenty of videos for that level before. All right, I'm gonna drink some water. I'll see you.